My name is Bob. I'm a newbie who just started working this spring. My baby face is a concern. I get carded when buying alcohol, and at work, I'm treated like a mascot and still seen as a kid. I believe the only way to change this situation is to achieve results at work, so I've been working hard, staying late every day. This small company of about 10 employees was founded by the president, who worked tirelessly to build it up, mainly focusing on internet sales. That day, like usual, I worked until the last train and hurried to the station. The bustling downtown area gets brighter and more crowded as the night goes on. There are lots of men and women you wouldn't normally see. There are guys who look like nightclub hosts trying to attract customers, and women in flashy, revealing clothes walking quickly. I'm not comfortable with this atmosphere. It feels so alien and even scary to me. I just want to get through it quickly. As I'm running at full speed, I hear a voice say, "Ouch, I had bumped into someone. Sorry, I was in a hurry." I apologize and see that it's a group of tough-looking guys. This is bad. I instantly felt that. The guys were smirking at me. "I'm really sorry. Excuse me." "Hey, wait up, man. You think that's the end of it?" As I try to walk away, one grabs me by the collar. "Onan, what a mess. I'm done for." I got punched. They kept hitting me as if they were in a really bad mood. It hurts. Pain shoots through my body. But after a while, either my brain numbed or I stopped feeling the pain. "Police, over here, they're fighting." A girl's voice sounded from afar. The tough guys panicked at the sound and scattered in all directions like baby spiders. "Ah, it's finally over." I tried to get up, but my body wouldn't cooperate. As I staggered to my feet, the girl offered her hand. "There's a park right there. Sit on a bench. I'll go buy some antiseptic." With that, she ran off. Lying on the park bench with my eyes closed, she returned with a bag. "Use this." She handed me a wet handkerchief, antiseptic, and band-aids. Even in the dim park, her bright blonde hair and torn, distressed shorts stood out, giving her a bit of a tough look. "I'm sorry for making you buy all this. I'll pay you." "No, it's fine for now. Take care of your wounds first." "Ah, okay." I wiped my bloodied mouth with the handkerchief. Lucky they ran off when I shouted police. I didn't actually call them though. If I did, they might have hit you more. She laughed. I usually ignore fights, but I couldn't stand seeing high school kids getting beaten. It's dangerous for you to walk around at this hour. I was surprised. "Wait, she thinks I'm underage." No, I'm not a kid. Just coming back from work." "Really? How old are you?" 22. "What? Older than me? Well, I helped for nothing." She burst out laughing. "Not at all. Thank you for helping me." "You're welcome." "What about you, walking alone at this time? You're not running away from home, right?" "No way, I'd never run away," she said, laughing. Lisa Brown was her name, a cheerful girl who laughs a lot. She looked a bit rough around the edges but was fun to be with. We ended up talking in the park for a long time and even exchanged contacts. I missed the last train and had to walk home, but talking to ease the shock and pain of being beaten. Since the next day, my routine was the same, work and catching the late train home. But one thing had changed. I started exchanging texts with Lisa. "My dad, he's so arrogant and annoying. He might be important at work, but I can't respect him. He's never home." Lisa would sometimes complain like that. "Your dad's busy with work, huh? Yeah, he's a president." "Really?" I replied, then suddenly thought. "Wait, the president of my company, his name is Brown too. Could it be?" With that thought, I casually asked, "Your dad's company, what is it?" I texted her the name of the company where I work. Yay, that's right. Wait, how do you know? I couldn't believe it. I was shocked by her response. I never imagined Lisa was the daughter of my company's president. When I mentioned it, surprisingly, Lisa seemed pleased. Later, I was called in by the president, and President Brown said with a smile, "Don't be nervous, take a seat. I hear you're close with my daughter, Lisa." I had been worried about getting in trouble, but his cheerful manner suggested otherwise. In fact, Mr. Brown seemed happy. "Lisa doesn't have many friends because of her personality. Please keep being good friends with her." I was relieved, though a bit taken aback. I had been worried about accusations of seducing his daughter, but that was needless. Afterward, perhaps because her father approved, Lisa started contacting me more. "Bob, let's hang out. How about karaoke? Do you know what's trendy? I've been curious about the cake buffet at that store. Let's go together. Our goal is to eat 10 pieces each." Because of Mr. Brown's approval, I could go out with her during lunch and return a bit late without worry, and if she invited me for dinner, I could leave work early without any issue. It seems Mr. Brown was right about her having few friends. She often called me out to different places to eat or hang out. She might be self-centered, but not a bad person. She looks a bit rough, though. It was fun to hang out with her, but there were problems. She called me out so frequently. I could hardly work. Tasks I planned to complete with overtime just piled up. But since it was president approved, even my boss couldn't reprimand me. My boss and colleagues just made bitter faces, silently letting me go when she called. Honestly, it wasn't a happy situation. I couldn't work properly, and I was teased as the future president just for seeing the president's daughter. I didn't want the president's seat. I wanted to work hard and achieve results first. I disliked being talked about like that. "Bob, let's go to a movie. The one I wanted to see has started." Lisa invited me as usual. I usually accepted, but this time I declined. There was an important meeting the next day. "Sorry, but I need to prepare for tomorrow's meeting tonight." "Oh, I see. Okay, let's hang out another time." Lisa backed off easily. I didn't need to accept reluctantly. Feeling relieved, I could finally focus on work. That's it. I can just sane it for a while. I declined her invitations the next day and the day after, citing work. When I started on the accumulated work, I was alarmed by how much there was. I need to hurry. Before I knew it, I had declined her invitations for a week straight. Then, the following week, Mr. Brown suddenly called me in. "Bob, it seems you're avoiding my daughter. Your attitude is too blatant. Quite a terrible thing to do." Well, it's fine. From tomorrow, you'll work in the warehouse, so you don't need to come to this main office." What? I was caught off guard by the sudden news. I remembered what the office lady had said before. When the company wants to let an employee go, they make conditions tough so they'll quit on their own. And there were rumors that the warehouse was exactly that kind of place. Why? Why is this happening all of a sudden? Come to think of it, I hadn't heard from Lisa since I started turning down her invitations. I didn't pay attention to it because I was busy with work, but if you don't want to hang out, I don't need it. Is that what you mean? Probably. She told her father to send me to the warehouse. When I realized that, anger welled up inside me. What a selfish way to behave. Mixing business with personal issues, no less. But then, I started to think that working in this warehouse might actually be better than those days when I couldn't focus on work because of Lisa. I decided to make the best of my new job. Maybe a few weeks passed. I was working comfortably. The shipping and management tasks in the warehouse, finding ways to improve and increase efficiency, I found a certain satisfaction in these. No matter the situation, changing my perspective helped me find motivation in my work. It's all about attitude. Then, one day, I received a text from Lisa for the first in a long time. She didn't contact me since I had declined her movie invitation, and I didn't contact her either. What could she possibly want now? Thinking this, I opened the text and was speechless. "Help me." That was all Lisa's text said. What does she mean? Thinking it was some kind of prank, I simply replied, "What's wrong?" But even after 1-2 hours, there was no reply from her. Maybe I'll try calling her during lunch break. Just as I was thinking this, Mr. Brown suddenly came into the office. "Bob, are you here?" "Mr. Brown, what's going on?" "Bob, help Lisa." Mr. Brown looked pale as he handed me his smartphone. There was an email on the screen with an attached image. "Lisa, she's been kidnapped." She looked like she was about to cry, but there seemed to be no injuries. The text read, "We'll contact again." What's this about? Lisa apparently left home after a heated argument with her father, Mr. Brown. It seems the argument started over my being transferred to warehouse duties. The heated exchange led Lisa to storm out of the house. A few hours later, Mr. Brown received a text. "I've been told not to call the cops. It might be wrong to ask you, but please help Lisa. I'm begging you." Mr. Brown, with tears in his eyes, begged me. The text from Lisa read, "Help me. It wasn't a prank, then. Things have gotten serious." I rushed out of the office. I tried replying to Lisa. "I'm coming to help. Where are you?" A few minutes later, I got a reply. The red abandoned building in the downtown area. I forwarded the text to Mr. Brown and ran to the location. I recognized the place immediately. I always passed that building on my way to the main office. "Lisa," I burst through the door. Inside, several rough-looking men and Lisa, seated on a chair, were present. The men approached with angry faces. "What do you want? You looking for trouble, huh?" I had rushed in without any weapon. I had no plan of action. "This is bad. I'm going to get beaten up." The men approached menacingly, and I felt fear. I wanted to run. But if I ran, Lisa would be left behind. A desperate situation. Just as I closed my eyes, accepting my fate, I heard police sirens outside. The sound stopped right in front of the building. To our surprise, police officers burst in. "Freeze! Give up!" The men were quickly subdued. Lisa and I were rescued in no time. The police are incredible. It was Mr. Brown who called the police. My forwarded text helped him inform the police of the exact location. Mr. Brown tearfully embraced Lisa. Then, he deeply apologized to me. The next day, it was revealed that the whole incident was a staged kidnapping by Lisa. What the heck? Lisa wanted to trouble Mr. Brown for sending me to the warehouse. I thought it was because I kept refusing your invitations that Lisa told Mr. Brown to punish me. No way, I didn't say anything to Dad. I just told him we hadn't met recently because you were busy, and he misunderstood it. He got mad thinking it was wrong to avoid his daughter, resulting in the warehouse transfer. I didn't know about it and argued with him over such a cruel act. Sorry, I just wanted to teach Dad a little lesson. It seems Lisa was inwardly panicking as her father, not I, was supposed to come to the scene. On reflection, it was odd that she could text while being kidnapped. I couldn't think that far at the time. But well, since Dad begged you, Bob, with tears, I'll forgive him. Lisa casually brushed off the incident, but I couldn't help thinking it was a serious matter, relieved that it wasn't a real kidnapping. Lisa had to explain everything to the police and apparently got a good warning. Mr. Brown also offered a formal apology. He admitted to acting childishly out of love for his daughter and for his selfish misunderstanding. deeply apologized. He even suggested I return to my original department. But I declined. I was starting to find the warehouse work interesting and was happy about the transfer. Lisa apologized for repeatedly inviting me without considering my circumstances. It's okay to say no when you can't. I'd be happy if you'd hang out with me again, though, she said modestly. Of course, that was okay. I had fun when we hung out. Actually, Bob, I have something to discuss with you. What is it? Would you consider becoming the next president and, eventually, Lisa's husband? What? Hey, what are you saying? Lisa blushed and got angry at her father's sudden proposal. I smiled and said, I'll pass on becoming the next president. I'm not cut out for that, but I'd like to start as friends with Lisa, just as equals, not as the president's daughter or your employee. That would make me happy. Both Lisa and Mr. Brown laughed and said, we'd appreciate that. Thus, my eventful saga came to a close, marking the beginning of a new chapter. Tomorrow looks to be a busy day. Both my professional and personal life seem promising. Someday, I want to confidently see Mr. Brown. By then, I might even be regarded as more mature by those around me.